This one will be a little bit different. Not because I feel indifferent, because I have no idea where to go and how to see through this. I'll still try to rhyme here and there, but there will be longer pauses. I'll be smoking a J, I'll be swayed back and forth, because I gotta say, I'm fucking happy. Yes, I'm tapping into the beat the second time round. And yes, today I already tapped it once. A rap that stunts and already correctly predicted, and fuck, I'm elated. Shit, the election actually, we made it, let's say it that way. Biden and Harris, wonderful. Biden is fine, Harris is a quite nice new addition, but most of all, Trump is gone. Oh, that could not go on. It already prolonged for way too much time. And I don't really care to rhyme. I'm not sure if this is a daydream or not, or if it's just a one-shot type news podcast. I don't know what the fuck this is. I'm just in bliss. And a part of me, of course, insists on worrying about the white majority that voted for him. Fucking shit. I don't even know the time over there. Maybe some of them are snoring. Don't even know the facts yet. Well, they might enact threats, but let's hope they won't. Let's hope they don't. Still feeling good about those results. Holy shit, that was needed. Fuck. I'm very lucky. Even if you're a white person and you voted for Biden, still be thankful, not proud, to the actual crowd that got him out of office. And that's pretty much any discriminated against minority, even if it's massive in population. At least a little bit better of a nation it became. Fuck. This will be a famous example in history. It will definitely be. And yes, I'm smoking a J, so I won't say as much between puffs. Because I can't bluff, I'm overjoyed. I'm toying with multiple ideas, but I just wish that fucking cunt would have been destroyed. But he didn't. Let's be honest. This was way too minor to be a repudiation. But still, it's worthy to enjoy the sensation. Just by the time you actually hear this recording and I put it out, you should still be shouting from the roofs and working towards progress. This is ongoing. So stop throwing off the effort and responsibility you have just because you can shave off ever so slight amounts of racism in the presidency. The question is also if this resident will be willing to leave the White House. The first white guy who is orange. Foreign in many ways. But I don't know. How can you cage any children in such a way? Yeah, you have to be a psychopath, deep down below. The only way I would ever throw out such lines is in a rap if I'm dissing someone or tapping into some other anger. But even then, I wouldn't put innocent children in cages. I'll cage that strange derangedness. But otherwise, don't really care about those lies. Fuck, it's too good a mood. Sorry. I was going down a rabbit hole, but now I gotta throw it out. Lucky foot. Shit. I understood this was a likely option, but I'm still way too happy it actually occurred. In other words, I was not certain. But now, let's open up the curtain and have the show begin. Call it a win for the day. And then tomorrow say we do it again and progress even further. Oh, fuck. The question will be, how many murders for political reasons will have occurred by the time this shit gets put out? Fuck. Yeah, Trumpism stood out just as a condensed form of what was already there, not because in any way it was new. Don't misconstrue that, ever. It was never anything of that, not a new type of endeavor. It's just on a different level, slightly more out in the open than it was before, which might be good. Cleansing the pores, being able to be more visible. I very much hope so, at least. That the white minority who did not vote for Trump see that it's their turn to go on the stump and try to promote it among their own social group. Seriously. To have stooped to such embarrassment, harassment of democratic principles and anything that's simple, because it seems too complex for them to understand. And yes, I'm just ranting on in a bland way about those fucking cunts. And I should not hunt them. Maybe some of them can be convinced otherwise, but fuck them. Their ship capsized. And now they're going to sink, I think. At least they're on the brink of it. And because of that, they will start to threaten multiple ways to go into a dead end. Trump won't be president in any official capacity as long as it remains the United States. But there's sufficient hate that there is reasonable worry of what will occur here. So scurry away into your hidey holes. It's a pandemic anyway, so in the end, you should stay away. But fuck. I'm worried about the stray shots that will fly multiple ways. Not a fucking game, though they play it like it is. Fucking twisted. And I also... I wasn't rapping then, but I wouldn't say I missed it the first time around. I still thought Clinton would win, to be honest, but I gave it a 36% chance to give it the other way, a random number I pulled out of my ass back then. This time around I was more certain, but I was also certain that it would not be an asserting victory. Multiple hiccups, and you see them. Fuck. It's a worrying idea of how the future will be, although it seems that at least it's on a route of improvement. I don't know. I'm in the groove. I'm somewhat spent. Tired in the evening. I've worked throughout the day on not much, but it took my attention anyway. And now I'm just ever so slightly more relaxed. Yes, one should be overjoyed about this specific occurrence without neglecting the greater situation that this nation is in. A pitiful sensation. To have to compromise with these minor victories. But you see, it will be a dictionary definition of a mediocre success. But at least it gives the chance for progress. And it ever so slightly reduces the possibility to oppress. Although, as said before, that won't fade. That will stay part of the game. That's why you have to work to rewrite the rules. To make them fair tools to be used. Not some ability to rule others. There's always an interesting thought about white people voting against their own interest in support of Trump. I would agree with that notion. However, there is also an interesting motion to go in the other way that goes to say that there's an edge there which might transition it, which is the privilege that our traditions bring, even here in Europe, where I'm from. It's enough to stir up a thought process. We also succumb, at least not as violently as you, but at least to some extent, we do have these streams within our nation. Not that unprevalent either. I don't think anywhere it's completely cleared. But take this moment to take a look in the mirror. Be happy of the success. And don't digress in your work towards progress. It's too easy to take a victory and just blend out as white people tend to do, especially in the United States. We'll take effort to oppose the combined hate, and that is not a job that people of color are supposed to do. That's for you. You're the one who fucked up, even if not you personally. So rehearse your words and notions and convince someone else. Yeah. This is actually astonishingly downbeat for the upbeat mood I'm in. You can see how zoomed in I am on possibly the pessimistic and cynical side of things, but these clinical rhymes bring little attention to what I actually want to say. It's easier if I go astray and have these mediocre bullet points here or there. I still do fairly well. I tell a tale. But for now, just take a moment again to enjoy that we prevailed. We have our first vice president who's female, and a person of color in addition. A nice transition to tradition. A long overdue omission. But now our mission is to, as said numerous times, progress. Fight the oppressors. And don't take any fucking hero roles. There's 0 of them. There's no use in them. You will pay a toll if you think that a hero can solve a situation. It needs a nation that is currently very much divided, at least among those who pride themselves most on liberties. Fuck. Don't know where to go from here. Oh, I didn't do that in quite a while. By the way, I'm queer. And among people of color, the LGBTQAI, whatever, P and K, whatever other letters are there that I'm forgetting today, so I'll sway time towards a different route. But still, a shout out to them, who in overwhelming numbers as well voted against that fucking turd. There is not quite a word sufficiently condescending and descriptive of the patheticness that is inherent in that mess that was called president. And whoever thinks that I offend with that statement, don't listen to my shit, you dimwit. You voted for that fucking clown a second time round. Fucking hell. That's something really to dwell on. The sad thing is, it's in no way surprising. It's just that the mad part of me is rising. Although the joy is still there. There's a mood of even dancing, prancing around, the chance that this sound will actually reach your ears and maybe make a thought clear, provoke you to do the ever so slightest motion and notion to put forward something, an ever so slight change. And this is very much an arrogance on my side that is somewhat deranged, as like 7 people currently listen to this shit. Oh, by the way, yeah, the first couple I spit are slowly getting online by the time now. I might have mentioned that. So far, no crowd listens to those. I wouldn't expect them either to. These are not for wowing, these are more trains of thought which often are personally sought after, but I think generally ought to be useful as a more meditative, tranquil, almost therapeutic form of art. That's not the norm. In actual raps, I try to get off the chart, condensed rhymes that have perfect timing, and then a sublime ending that brings everything together and makes it better. But I'm wary of such perfection when I like to see things clearly and focused. It's like locusts on the crops that are growing in my mind if I try to define them too narrowly and don't leave them room to grow. And now I'm showing up for 16 minutes? It's getting long. Fuck. And he still claims the game's victory, and he already claimed victory for himself, so we still have the protection of democracy on the shelf of things to do. Just that shelf seems endless. But don't misconstrue, you still have to work on it and get it done. Even if for you it's not fun. And with that, I think I'm done.